Hello everybody, my name is KingStix. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to carry your games in low elo from a carry perspective. I'm not going to tell you should be playing Soraka or be playing a tank. In this video, for those of you who want to play the carry role, this is what I'm going to be showing you. For carrying yourself out of low elo with the best win rate possible, I do recommend taking a carry role. Twitch jungle is not an easy champion to play. I would highly recommend, if you want to play a ranged carry jungler, to choose Graves or Kindred. But if you do put in the time and you learn how to move and shoot properly on Twitch, you can easily make them work, especially in low elo. Immediately leave the fountain and get watched in a neutral or forward bush. In this case, my team followed me up, so we were able to do a small invade and pick up a kill. It is important to keep watch on your red buff initially, since that is by far the most important buff, which is going to set up your early game pressure. Get a leash from your bot lane or your top lane, and then immediately go in for a gank. The enemy bot lane posted up in the tri-brush. I go invisible. I'm not sure if they saw me. It doesn't really matter since we have the Braum slows, and I can help proc the stuns really quickly. I hold on to my E for the Sivir since I knew we could kill the Thresh really easily. She flashes away and I pick her off. Ganking after red buff is essential if you want to carry as a jungler or carry low elo in general. By doing this, you'll be level 2 with a red buff while the enemies are still level 1. That's a whole lot of extra damage and a powerful slow. After ganking, doing scuttle, you're going to want to go ahead and do another gank. People in low elo tend to push up, so going in for another gank early while you still have red buff is highly advantageous. I see Kayn on my blue buff. I'm missing half my health though, and I don't want to turn it into a 1v1 situation. Even though he's in my jungle, there's a good chance my laners aren't even going to come help me, so I'm much better off trading for his blue buff and then just taking his Gromp. He can take my whole side of the jungle. It doesn't matter since I just traded for his. I was really low on health and my red buff is about to wear off anyway, so it's a great time to back. I got my boots, I got some damage items. I'm looking for another gank. Unfortunately, my bot lane backs before I come in for the gank, so I'm just going to clear my Krugs and wait for now. I want to try to avoid top lane since Garen is losing. He's already lost lane, plus ganking a Heimerdinger is really dangerous. Not to mention that if Kayn shows up in a 2v2, me and Garen would get wiped out. If I just stay bot lane with my winning bot lane, if Kayn shows up, we'll get 3 kills and probably none of us will die. Since I couldn't gank bot or mid, I just continued to clear through my jungle, and now I'm already here top lane, so it is a decent use of my time to try to gank it. I'm going to go in, I wait till Heimerdinger uses his CC. Unfortunately, Kayn is here at the exact moment I come in for the gank, which was a little bit surprising in my mind since Heimerdinger had Garen pushed in. There was a lot of calculated risks there. It could have turned out really well if Kayn wasn't there. That's going to happen though in games where a situation that could have gone really well just happens to not turn out the best in your favor. As long as you don't play too many of those high-risk situations though, you should be fine. To play it safe after dying and giving away a lot of gold, I'm going to go back to my bot lane and ensure some more solid kills, especially after getting my red buff. A whole lot of extra damage and some powerful slows combined with my winning lane. I'm waiting outside of the turret's range. You'd be surprised in low elo, people will walk up a lot even when they have very little to gain and a whole lot to lose. For here, for example, I go invisible, act like I run away. I'm just going to wait for Thresh to get a little bit closer. He gets closer, I smite, I ult. I'm going to take a few turret shots, but that's okay. I don't care. If I can get a kill and lose some HP from a turret, it means absolutely nothing to me. Something I don't do often when I'm carrying low elo is try to force objectives like dragons or even Rift Herald a lot of the time. Because whenever you try to force an objective like dragon or Rift Herald in the early game, there's a good chance that you can end up losing the fight and losing the objective, which is a massive power swing. A lot of times in low elo, in the early game especially, it's better to play for kills and for turrets than it is to go for dragons. If you want to go for a dragon, try to do it when the enemy goes for it and then kill them when they're on it. Because going for dragons and stuff in low elo is risky since your teammates don't have the best follow-up and they don't follow immediately. And if the enemies come, your teammates might try to chase the enemies, or they might stay on the dragon and not turn. There's just too many ifs and buts. As you climb into higher elo, the emphasis on taking Dragon and Rift Herald will become higher and higher since people in lane tend to play a little bit safer. But if you're an Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, or even low Plat, people in lane tend to be very greedy and bloodlusted. They will force fights with the enemy laner and shove up lane to take advantages, which makes it very easy as a red buff jungler like Twitch, Xin Zhao, Graves, Kindred, jacks, you name it, to hard punish them in the early and mid game and make these massive snowballing advantages that will in the mid game make it very easy for you to take these objectives and not try to force them in the early game. Even the enemy junglers are greedy. Watch this. Kayn is obviously going for scuttles since it is up. I'm just going to wait for him to start it, use some of his abilities so I can beat him down. At this point, he's either pushing it towards my bot lane or more likely pushing it towards me. So I use my smite ultimate, start tearing him up. Of course, he has his ultimate. And it's a little bit tricky here since I am Twitch and I don't have tabbies. If I was a more viable jungler like Graves Kindred or any other red buff jungler, I wouldn't have had to flash in the least. Braum starts dragon, which I don't understand. I see the enemy bot lane is very gankable, so I just leave the dragon and proceed to gank. Like you guys see, I could have stayed and gotten dragon, sure, Kayn was dead. Or would it be better to get 2 kills in a turret? Obviously the 2 kills in a turret. Sivir gets away because she blows her heal. Now we're in a perfect situation to take down the turret and then go take dragon. Kayn has been up for some time now, so I don't want to start dragon. Just in case it's warded or Kayn shows up, it'd be very risky. Once again, guys, dragons in low elo in the early game are risky. You only really want to do them unless it's 100% free, or if you're stopping the enemies from taking it and you're collapsing on them. Since the threat of Kayn didn't allow me to take dragon, I went invisible. I knew if he went for his Gromp, his spells would be down, I'd be able to force him off it, and of course I do, and I take his Gromp, and I get him low on health. So now I can take dragon for free because Kayn has no threat anymore since he's low on health. But once again, like we talked about, laners and low elo are really greedy, so I pull off a dragon immediately when I see them starting to fight and get frisky. So I come down there to smack them around a bit. If you want to be able to pull yourself out of low elo, you have to be willing to pull off an objective for the greater good. In this case, it was the dragon. Do we really need that stone drake? Not really. And since I was willing to look at what my teammates were doing and the enemies were doing, I found a much better situation to give me a much higher carry potential. This play right here is an example of me doing something I've been telling you guys not to do this whole video, which is trying to force an objective and take it when you don't need to. My 2 bot laners are bot lane right now. Garen just got himself killed, so it's just me and Vladimir. I'm sticking towards the outside because I don't want to get caught out, and I know I can get away, but just by me starting that objective, now Vladimir is in a really weird spot. He doesn't really know that I don't want to fight this, and I don't feel comfortable fighting a 2v5 because what's the point? So he ends up going in. I wasn't ready to go in, and then I realized he's actually doing some damage. I ult, I flashed, but it was a little too late, and things just don't turn out well. If I hadn't bothered to force that objective, I could have held on to my guardian angel, Vlad would have still been alive, and we could have just pressured mid lane and the enemies would have had to back to stop our bot lane. Going for kills and turrets 9 times out of 10 is the safer option. You only want to go for things like dragons or heralds or baron if it's 100% guaranteed free, no contest. Utilizing the carry role, trying to bring yourself out of the hellhole known as low elo. In the late game, you're gonna want to wait till the enemies use their hard CCs on your teammate or waste them altogether. I loop around the enemies a bit and I wait until Thresh has blown his flay and his hook. If he'd hit me with just a single one of those CCs, I could have easily died and I wouldn't have put out that much damage or had that big of an impact. I do die in the end, but I put out a lot of work for my team, allowing us to win the team fight and take a lot of map pressure. Whenever a fight is happening as the carry, you don't want to run straight into it like a minion. You want to take your time and find the best route possible. In this case, Vlad runs in like a battering ram, scattering the Sivir and Ezreal. I peel off to the side to take down the Ezreal, and Vladimir finishes off the Sivir. Here I see Kayn. I want to avoid him. I'm half health. He's pretty fed. My guardian angel is also down. So I peel off to the side, get a few autos down on the Thresh. Meanwhile, I'm going to kill the enemy minions, allowing our minions to get to the turret. I'm not going to push forward and risk dying to the Heimerdinger since I am low on health. I'm going to stay in the back and kill the turret. Even if you're low on health and you can't get into the thick of the fight, still look for side opportunities like killing enemy minions and pushing down a turret. Just because you don't have your head in the kill zone doesn't mean you can't help your team out. Even if you only have 1 HP, if you can somehow help in a fight or taking an objective, that's awesome, because guess what? Even with 1 HP, your champion still does just as much damage. I know that sounds really funny to say out loud, but I see loads of people in low elo all the time. Whenever they get low on health, they'll completely run away, even when they're not in any harm's way. They can just stay behind their team, kill minions, take a turret, but they just say, I'm low, therefore I'm backing. After taking dragon and a few monster camps, I'm full health and my ult is up, so I didn't really want to back, especially since we have a mini wave pushing down mid. Instead, I'll go invisible, get as close as I can, activate ult, and turn them into ground beef. And with 4 of the enemies dead, we can conclude this game. I hope you enjoyed this commentary guide on how to pull yourself out of low elo and carry yourself in a carry position and not just play something boring like 𝐒𝐿. If you do enjoy it, that's fine. This is for those who want to boast and flex on their opponents and try to get all the honors from their teammates. Speaking of flexing and boasting, if you guys haven't joined it already, make sure to check out our awesome quarterback club where you can earn awesome rewards like skins and champions just by playing the game. KingStix needs you now more than ever. Rich boy Red Mercy is now on quarterback and he's getting ready to take control of the whole thing. Help us stop him. I'll leave a link for our quarterback and for our Discord down in the description below. If you did enjoy this video and you want to support the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. My name is KingStix. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.